You are dreaming of Fae, of these creatures, deciphering what all that information that you received. And it's similar to last time where things start to get cold. You hear wind whipping and you blink and you are somewhere else. This time it doesn't start in the middle of the blizzard, it starts right where you left off. You are in the middle of a blizzard, yes, but you are in the middle of 7 standing stones, each carved with a glowing blue rune. There is an eerie quietness in this little area compared to the wind whipping around you. And you see a figure come out of the blizzard across from you. That same elven figure, blue-tinged skin, white hair, same icy blue eyes Soren has. He stands and approaches you.
Stare and wait for him to come closer. But get ready to run if I need to.
The figure stands about 6'4", 6'5". He is towering over you. And you hear a voice. My name is Frost. I'm sure you already know to an extent of who I am. Soren has told you enough. This is an interesting scenario. The boy promised me, promised me that he was going to prove himself, and he ran. But no matter. He has left me with you. And if he believes in you, I wish for you to prove to me that his choice to leave me in your hands was a good one. Do you promise this?
Yes.
As you say yes, the blood around you suddenly swells, and a reflection crosses in front of your face, and your eyes are icy blue. And then you wake up.
Just does her hair up. She pulls open the drawer, takes out the necklace, puts it on. She looks into the mirror and sees that her eyes are no longer brown, but now they're blue. Guess that wasn't much of a dream then. Alright. Read later.
Is that the 50 woman with the that took the rabbit? Like follow y'all. I don't recognize that name. Elizabeth, Cecilia, Telcast. I'm not familiar with that name either. Gullcrest. David.
Oh yeah, we're hearing new people.
Ah. Excellent, it's all dry. Elizabeth?
Ellis, actually.
My bad. I'm really used to being so informal.
case, breakfast time.
Good morning.
Morning. Hmm. Must be the ship arriving with the new students. Morning, Christopher.
Good morning, Ellis.
Did you eat yesterday? I noticed that when I returned to the dorm room, the breakfast I left you was still outside.
No, I did not. I'll be fine. Excited for the new students and staff.
Should I be?
I don't know.
Are you?
There's more people. Bad.
Well, new students mean there will be more support students. Perhaps we could get another support on our team.
Perhaps. For leader to choose one.
Surely we don't need a leader if we can all come to a concise answer together.
We've never come to an answer together.
Have you ever actually discussed anything together?
Yes. The last team leader. In which it was a dead tie.
Well, with 5 students, there won't be a tie.
But it's 4 students voting for a 5th. See what the problem is.
Could you say that again? I couldn't exactly hear you.
There are 4 students voting for a 5th.
Well, I'm assuming the 5th would probably vote for themselves, so...
That's not how voting works.
Hello.
Morning.
1 second. Oh, there we go. And chair.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I apologize, Christopher, but this whole
Enjoying.
team thing is new to me.
As is for me, but...
I suppose the others are probably going to see the new students, if they're not already here.
That's not a bad idea, actually. Oh, going.
Suppose I'll join you.
Sword Girl, do you think that Tiana is the closest thing we have to a nurse out of the school?
We are not doing this.
I just want to know what she thinks.
I don't believe I know Tiana well enough to give a proper assessment. Nor the majority of the students here.
Alright. Look, I was just trying to nickname out. If you don't like it, you can say it.
The problem is that I don't see it out correct. They did?
Up down.
Well, Tenebris said the random
Words that, you don't mind.
got told off.
No.
Oh.
Hope we had a good morning talk.
Yeah.
That's what
New students.
I have.
Check out the
Seems,
guys
yeah,
running
yeah,
around
well,
as
more
usual.
people to get
disappointed.
Love that.
Huh?
Morning, Lara. How are you feeling?
Oh, good. More people to disappoint me.
Hi, Ellis. I'm feeling a lot better. How are you doing?
I'm doing well.
New shipment of people coming.
Are you coming to see the new students?
Mm.
Oh, you are so funny, Mal. That's why I love you.
I just heard about them.
Thoroughly curious.
Well, I was
name's
about to
Kiki.
join Christopher.
So, are they already in here, or?
Well, the ship bell sounded earlier
Like I
on,
said,
so I'm assuming that that's the ship bringing them here.
I'm having a weird morning, Kiki. I'm having a weird morning. My head is
Oh.
screwed on.
So I wouldn't hi to them.
Well,
Oh, I kind of, I wanted to ask you about something
yes.
when we get the chance.
I don't have an appetite, actually.
Grabs your hand and drags away slightly.
Oh. Hang on. Well, there you go.
You had glasses this whole time?
Slightly.
Yeah, it's just that they kind of broke when I came here.
I just want to ask how everything went after, you know.
After...
So, like,
I hadn't had a chance to talk to you.
walking around half
Remember when we went to the forest in the Burbies?
Oh.
Oh no, I can
Everything
still
went
see
fine.
you, but it's all clear, right?
Mm.
For example, I usually wear them when I'm training.
I just want to make sure I hadn't gotten a chance to ask you about that, if everything was okay. I even started reading books on what you told me with you know, the Fae.
I guess.
I've been researching them too.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we can research them together.
Make it right. Yeah.
I figured if what you said was true, then I should probably start reading about them and start learning about them.
It would be good to be knowledgeable.
Go talk about birds.
Hi, Jack.
Good morning.
But I just want to ask about that. Sorry if I scared you by dragging over here.
It's alright. It was the most efficient way to get me here.
What was that? Sorry if I scared you.
Don't worry.
Oh, there we go. Sorry about that.
You say so. Either way, I think I'm gonna get some breakfast. Still haven't eaten anything yet. I was talking to Kiki about my babies.
Appears the new students are here already.
Oh. I wonder what kind of students we're having this time.
We could go see.
Yeah.
I don't know if you dare you, but I saw there was some.
For those of you interested, sorry, interruption.
When you're on the ship,
Yeah.
tide of the waves
There is.
next to you, and you're throwing a flow. Bit dizzy.
I'm going to
Ooh.
grab things in my office.
Stuff.
Recycling your stuff.
It's amazing, actually. But people can't accidentally push you off the table, I don't think.
Hi.
You end up at a different place.
Oh God.
Excuse me.
I believe, I suppose you, yeah?
First of all, welcome to the school. And second of all, are any of you supports by any chance?
Oh, I believe I am.
So that was what you wrote on the letter for, application was? I
Yes.
suppose I could do anything, really.
Well, either you are or you're.
Oh, well, in that case, I wrote defense.
Oh.
This is lovely. We're defenses then. That's great, isn't it?
I'm sorry.
Do great.
Wait, what?
You said you were a defense?
Let's, hold on. Let's
Right on front, isn't the entire point of the
That's my
Can you get it
friend.
out?
If you would be
Can you get it out?
That's a student, though.
That's my friend. He
I'm gonna head to
with him a lot in the coming days.
Good morning, Elizabeth.
Morning, Isaac. My name is actually Ellis. If you would please call me by that name instead.
Ellis. Alright.
Thank you.
You know I'm here.
Feeling better.
I like
Yeah, I mean, I'm
I'm glad. If it helps you, if it helps you feel better.
Everyone,
You were
here's
talking
some
about
good
a
news.
teapot, right?
Tell is my name.
What's up, girl?
Then I'm here.
Oh,
The best news.
Good morning.
That you're
Morning.
feeling better. Yes.
It is the best news.
I've never
Pleasure.
seen something like
Dad and I might be finding
Have you seen Christopher Solia? I believe we have something to
Sarlia,
discuss.
no, but Christopher, I saw him earlier. Came in and ate. But I don't know where he went after that.
That's what I was gonna do with Tatiana, though. I saw you were here, so I just want to say hi.
Well, I might as well ask you now. If you believe anybody should be team leader like Stella or Soaring God, who would you vote for?
Causes pain and suffering on others. My hunger grows.
Yes, I was wondering. Not the reason why.
As selfish as it sounds, myself.
Yourself?
Yes.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. That's why I
And do you
refrain from
think
eating
you
that
have
much.
the skills needed for that?
No, but I
Lead a
believe I
team
can
that
develop
you're
them.
officially on yet?
Probably gonna get more. Good to hear.
I believe I can develop the skills needed as I go.
And do you think you should learn those skills on the job or train from first? Kids have already died.
Are you saying this because you would like to be a leader instead?
And then all of a sudden we were
Yes.
underwater, and we also
I assumed as much.
we were
Well, I'd like it if you would show me why I should vote for you instead of myself, rather than trying to convince me I shouldn't want to vote for myself.
the wave home turned into marshmallows. And
Well,
we had plenty of
I'm a
marshmallows,
bear.
and we made a bunch of marshmallows
I
and
have
stuff.
many years of
Can I ask that? Is that okay?
It's like sugar. Look,
management skills, let's say. I've had people work under me before.
huh?
I've run a business, I've run a household,
And
I've
then we
run
were
soldiers.
cakes and stuff.
That
And
was
then we were able
nice.
to
Everyone wouldn't be expected to
and we lived on a beach for a day.
Mine too.
I believe I already
Crab
have.
came out of the sand and started
Well, you've
crawling.
definitely given me something to think about then.
Yeah.
I'll rethink my decision.
Anyway,
I'm gonna go and socialize.
There's Christopher. I guess I should go have this talk with him as well.
Of course.
Have a good morning.
And yourself.
the marshmallow parts.
Then I can see you are called Secretary of State of Rosewood, or you can just refer to me as Ted. Everyone else seems to right now.
Soren didn't want him as leader, so I will trust his judgment. Although I'd rather not get into an argument. I know I would lose. It's easier to just agree and then change my state of mind beforehand. Morning. I should have checked the chores. Seems the chores aren't here either. Let's see. Elise's? Ulysses, perhaps. Lothario, Telkaraz, Jill, Yiko. It'd be easier to put names to faces, but names will do for now.
Morning, Ellis.
Morning.
Are there a lot of birds where you come from?
I heard in Joza that there's birds that walk like this.
Soralia, would you mind if I had a moment with you? Morning.
Morning, Soria.
Morning, Isaac.
Morning, Isaac.
Morning.
No.
If possible.
Sure.
Is there anything specific that you would prefer to talk?
Not in particular.
Then I suppose we'll just go upstairs.
Found him, Lyra. He's at the
Oh, okay.
Hey, Abby.
Hey, Lyra. Going to breakfast. So, Isaac? There you go.
Apologies. I'd like to get out of earshot from Isaac if possible. I believe this would be a good place. Oh, upstairs works also.
Oh, I thought you went up.
Not ready yet. It's fine.
Right.
Isaac is trying to convince Christopher and myself to vote for him as team leader when the time comes that we need to decide such a thing. I know Saren didn't want him as the team leader, so I will trust in his decision. I'm aware that you don't want to be team leader. So I was considering trying for it myself, if possible.
Really?
Just my luck. Oh. Apologies.
It's alright. What was the last thing you heard?
You asking if I believed I could lead Stella.
And your response to that I didn't hear.
I believe I can try. Whether I have the skills for it or not, I genuinely do not know. But any skills that you believe that I need to develop, I can work on it.
And how do you feel about Christopher leading?
Honestly, I wouldn't have an issue with him leading, but he has shown already. I have overheard him saying that he did not believe himself to be wanting. Sorry, let me rephrase. He did not want to be the leader of Team Stella.
So it looks like you or Isaac. I suppose if you're going to try to lead, being able to keep others in check. You know, being able to tell us what to do, I guess, is kind of your job. If you have the confidence to do those things, I'd say that's probably the biggest step. I know Isaac could do that. I have a feeling you'd do it differently. And you're sure that that is something that you want to take on?
I want to make sure Team Stella doesn't fall apart. And I know being in the role of the team leader, that will allow me to do it in a more efficient way.
I don't disagree. I suppose it's a tough decision, but Soren did specifically say not to let him take it on. That really only leaves us with one option.
Which is why I made myself an option to begin with. At first, I didn't believe it was right to want to be a team leader when I am the newest on the team. But I honestly see no other option with yourself and Christopher not wanting to take on the role for yourselves.
I don't think time on the team has anything to do with it. It's more about what you can bring. If this is something that you want to take on, then I would support you in it.
Thank you. I'd like for Team Stella to become a team that flourishes together, and clearly you will flourish in your own way, but definitely not together. Communication is something that I'd like to try and work on first, if possible.
That's a big one.
Which is why I came to talk to you. I will be talking to Christopher next. For now, I gave Isaac my answer that I told him I would reconsider my decision, but that is because I know in an argument I will not win. So I am trying to not cause issues. At least if he believes that I am going to change my answer, he will not bother me.
It's probably for the best. He's quite smart, though. I would be careful.
Of course. So if he asks what I talked to you about, I'd like it if you could tell him that I was discussing his leadership skills with you to decide on my answer.
Sure.
Thank you. That's all I wish to talk about, yes.
Alright. I'm sure the bell will be ringing soon.
Thank you.
I don't want to accidentally hit you in the face with this thing.
I appreciate it.
I don't think they're going to come out anytime soon. Doesn't seem like it anyway. Getting better.
Yeah, I am.
You all okay? I heard something about a spider.
Okay, Kai, how are you feeling?
Well, I guess a little better than
but after a while, you're
past
fine.
days.
I see. Hmm.
I do not wish to cut a meeting short. I'm a little concerned, and I want to seek where my team might have went. So, if
Of
you'll
course.
excuse-
Well, I believe Zuku over there has just entered the building, right behind you.
Ah, oh, perfect. That's great.
Indeed.
Well, I'll part for a moment.
A pleasure meeting you, Lefron, once more.
Ah, you as well.
Likewise to you, Rose, and of course, Elias as well. Was that it? Correct?
Ulysses. Oh, never mind.
Ulysses. Ooh. Very well, Ulysses. I will endeavor to remember that, of course.
And Lyra? Abdel is right outside. She's just.
Very well. I'm
chilling.
going to go ahead and, I think have a bit of a look around, actually. If professors find themselves in here and they're calling out my name,
Team captain, I have more things to do.
What's the exact same thing I wasn't trying to avoid? I'll be fine! If I just... I'll move my hand.
Christopher,
Yes.
I was wondering if I could have a word with you.
Sure. Everyone wants one anyways.
If I remember right, it's to our
Is
right.
it?
Follow me.
Raider Volans, or just call me Professor Volans. Quite alright.
I'm already aware that Isaac has spoken with you about him being the next team leader of Team Stella.
Mm-hmm. And?
What do you think about that?
I'll be honest. I don't know enough about you to know if you're a leader or not. But I do
That's
know
perfectly
Isaac and
reasonable.
Sorley are not suited for it. If necessary, I will be leader until I can find someone who I deem fit. A fifth team member.
That is perfectly reasonable. In all honesty, I would not mind it if you were a leader for Team Stella. I have seen your leadership skills, and I believe you are perfectly capable. I've spoken to Soralia about this. I expressed to her that I was interested in being the team leader because I, for now, believed you were not willing to become it yourself. And she said that she would be in support of me if I were to try.
Well, there you have it.
will this information sway your actions at all?
No, it will not.
I see. Well, I'm perfectly fine with voting for you to be the temporary team leader until I can prove myself to be fit for the role. Would you be alright with that outcome?
And I won't.
Alright, I suppose I will have another conversation with Soralia then. Thank you for your time.
It'll change her vote, though.
Which is understandable. But I suppose voting is unusual.
Well, she doesn't really like me right now.
Is there any particular reason as to why?
Without going into details, as I cannot disclose them, I have done some things that she did not agree with. Put it simply.
I see. Well, if you cannot tell me more, then I will not try to budge you on that. Hopefully the issue can be resolved at some point.
Place to tell you.
I understand. Well,
I am certain the issue will be resolved by the end of the day. Whether that changes anything, I do not know.
with me, it does not. I trust that you will fix things. You do seem like the reliable type, at least from my personal experience with you.
Thank you.
Well, that's all I wanted to talk with you about. I'll be taking my leave.
Understood. I'll stay for a bit.
I will be exploring a bit with
I was just about to go inside to get water too, so it's perfect timing.
Yeah.
I found Bramble though.
Oh, nice.
Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I can definitely relate. My past
If you're not forced to be here,
have usually
I would
been
strongly
discussing and keeping people alive.
How do you-
But from what I can
What's the best way to?
everyone here seems at least a little interested.
Hugo was really into team human.
I need to talk to the professor still. I didn't catch him the previous night.
Did you hear about
I wish you luck in that.
certain events?
The best way
Thank you.
to not do that is.
I haven't seen him yet today. I hope he's here.
No, me neither. Lots of new faces though.
Please come with me just a moment. Perhaps it's better for.
Could I have a quick moment with you before announcements start?
Sure.
For me too.
It's not as close to Hugo as you are.
Well, then I will start giving you a hug.
I'm a bit.
I believe this to be far enough. After speaking with Christopher, I've discovered that he is willing and planning to try and be the temporary team leader until we find someone who is more sufficient for the role.
Temporary. Did you tell him what you're thinking?
Yes. He believes
still
that.
Wants to look for someone else?
Yes. He said that he doesn't know me well enough to know if I have the leadership skills required to be the team leader, which is completely understandable. So I suggested perhaps if he was thinking of being a temporary leader, then I would support him and try my best to prove myself to be a worthy team leader in the time when he is in that position.
I suppose that puts a wrench in things. I don't know if I can trust him either, as unfortunate as it is.
Well, I was
feel like the
thinking
same
of...
goes-
I definitely wanted to discuss it with you, because I trust your decision more than the other two at the moment. I'm aware Isaac will be voting for himself, Christopher will be voting for himself, and as there is no fifth member at the current time, it will be our votes which make the decision.
Right. At this point, I would trust you with the role more than I would trust him.
Is it because you've both had a bit of an issue, as I've heard?
No. I don't know enough about him, and the same could be said to you, of course, but I don't know his intentions. You've stated yours. I just have more to go on, I guess.
Understandable.
That could change between now and then, but I don't know how it could.
Well, from now till then, we could get a fifth member who might put a wrench in things, as you said before.
Right.
I just prefer
And
to
that
know
if
where I
could
stand.
be- Yeah. It really is a mess. I don't know what else to tell you. I don't think my vote would change as of now.
Alright. Well, we can talk again when the time comes that we actually need to make the decision.
I'd like to postpone that for as long as possible.
Which would be ideal.
I suppose it'll depend on our situation.
I suppose we should return.
Is that all?
Yes.
Yeah. I was feeling that anyone could sneak up on us.
People don't usually tend to go around that corner, I've noticed.
I don't believe I've ever gone around that corner.
That is a god. Yeah, we do miss it. That is the greatest mustache I have ever seen.
It's
kind of what. I kind of miss it.
He seems nice. I found one of those ones that just tried to kill me. No, because it started sniffing and got real close. I walked away.
A bunch of the traders in the markets, they also had impressive mustache. They were most thin. That is just magnificent.
I don't think we have.
And they said to me in the...
Mustache, 55% man.
Lothario.
Incredible.
It's a pleasure.
Patiently.
Have either of you been filled in on this?
From here, here and there, we're just discussing it, but if there's anything more you'd like to add into it, it would be Very.
Wait, why
I
would
can make
you
it
heal?
quick. I don't know how long.
What if he's a mage? What if he can
Basically,
magic his mustache to life? Mustache
it's
is
not going to
actually
sound
his
good
hand.
because it's not good.
Does magic do that?
Not.
Mustache.
75% faculty here is not qualified to do their jobs. They have no teaching credentials, not that they taught anyone. And they're most likely here because they are avoiding prison or something.
I feel like those are good words to live by.
They told by a few of them.
Also small from here.
Additionally, there have been
mustache.
as the faculty have called it, they have called this a project,
Well,
not an
I'm
institute.
really curious about magic. I've only seen what
Academia and whatnot.
even then it was mostly just healing. Cause
Furthermore, there have been pirates
the
that have
people
been
in my
raiding
tribe
our
were kind of
ships.
dumbass.
So we have to ration their food. Only, I guess, new food that come in, as has been the ones where racial groups, new recruits or something, and then your second group.
A couple of tools, basic tools.
Further from that, there have been giant rats that have been raiding what little food that we have stored, and it's the reason why we have been carrying weapons around campus to deal with the threat. There's been a group of students have gone down to try to stop the threat, and they have failed, and several students have died. From that,
Since we are now missing
there
a
has
team
been a
leader,
second mission to go
I
out
think we
and
need to deal
hunt
with this
elk and
problem.
boar. However, we encountered a monster, and some of the students have taken upon themselves to challenge it alone rather than going to one of the nearby teachers to help them. And so they have been perished.
No one died during the mission.
Unsorted, we can finish it or something. Well,
When they came back.
someone just kind of slapped
Then
their hands
until you
together
think
and gave
about
them
it
a
and
fake.
make a decision.
I mean, I don't think those were part of the actual ritual of doing it. I think she was just trying to make a big.
Well,
welcome to
Since the
Rosewood.
rat, I'm not done, unfortunately. since the rat mission, there have been no more lessons.
No.
We have not been taught anything for about 2 weeks now, although
Okay, so
from the
yes,
inklings that
when
I've
someone
heard,
actually,
lessons will
I
be
will give it
resumed
a try.
today.
I will make exactly what she did.
I see. That,
And then slap him in the face and then do.
Wow.
Still no
So,
choice while he was.
these the rest of
guess
us
she was
as the
more
new
like a
recruits
bitch.
to be picked up by the squads that are now missing members, due to them leaving once they realize
If
there's
that's
no
part, if
nature
that's part of what
or
you have
from
to do to heal them, then
the deaths.
Do you think they're going up to complete strength up and then the face is not going to have to... Well, we've painted this academy in a light. I didn't think I could have seen it in
Yeah,
before,
I mean,
and
that
for that, I
decision
thank
should
you.
probably
not
do any of
the
us
best
about
idea.
it.
You're welcome. It's hard to get past all the recruiter speak.
I found the person.
Presumably recruited you.
Bad idea. I'm
Of
not
course.
going to do
You know, just to think, should have been on that all this time, and could have got raided by pirates and died. Great first start. But we didn't, so count ourselves lucky, right?
Yes, and now that you do mention that, I
get no
wonder if
help.
there was perhaps a third batch of students that was
You know,
attacked on the
I'm
way
just
here.
going to wait a while and let the teacher.
I'm sure there
Speculation.
was. I'm sure we have everybody here safe and sound.
Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah,
there's
I'm
no
not
need to
getting on the
worry
ship
about anything
again.
like that.
Upset you.
I'm sure everything is quite alright.
If you were
Due
team
to
leader,
how
who
they
would you
are,
choose to join Team Stella?
I guess, looking over our mail as we send it out and controlling what gets sent out.
In this
I have
very
no doubts
moment,
that they have not reported the students' deaths to the families.
I think I heard something about
We're
someone didn't
big
clean their
worried
dishes.
about the continuation of this project.
Why? Is it because you were close to her? Or?
I'm sure they have their reasons. And I'm sure the families
Soren seemed
know
sure.
everything. I'm sure it's okay. There's no need to panic yourselves. I mean, first day
The last
here, at
chance
least
that
give
I'm
us
guessing
something nice to
Probably
come
not
to.
Frost.
There are quite a lot of
Yeah, Sword Shield.
Yes, it was macaroni and cheese, yes. Fantastic thing, that.
It is, yeah, it's real good.
I am not to be city
Yes.
slimed. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Of course, no costume. I'm sure we'll handle things just fine. Of course, a bit of preface and warning always helps. I wonder if they'll
Yes,
touch
it
on
does.
themselves up there.
Aye, especially hearing that you've not been even given a tour yet. You've simply just taken
Chris
off the boat,
voted
brought here,
for
and then
himself,
told
and
to
I
eat
voted
food
for
and wait.
myself.
Yes, I did hear from the council actually, as I may have ventured out myself a
I need
little.
to make it a thing.
I guess it's cool.
Oh, feel free to find one of the students to lead you around, of course. But the issue is,
Unless you can convince
that's
Chris to agree.
Well, completely fine for perhaps a few people new through this academy. Those who are perhaps a little more socially inverted, it might be more difficult for them.
Actually, I guess you could do the same.
Yes, it is.
Indeed.
What if someone was wearing a dress?
Well, they've got their chance to make a good impression
I guess
now.
it'd be the same if.
Yeah. Perhaps they will turn things around, and perhaps not. Some of the new faculty that come in seem to qualified to do their jobs, so that is good. The professor from Flint's.
I wish I could hit him. But they're not in front.
Depends on
Your hair is strikingly red.
So far, I don't know much about the others.
Thank you. It's natural.
I'd like to make the suggestion.
Perhaps defense's tactics
Your hair
could be,
is
quite a good call, considering
soothingly lavender.
Yes, I can.
So what's the giant rat
That is the substance I use on it. It's sort of become dyed over the years.
If you don't mind, I think I'll be taking a seat.
It looks very nice.
Naturally killing me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just assumed you died it.
Huh. I was just born this way.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was a unique trait. Dad didn't have it, so. Anyway. Yeah. Anyway.
Inverted albinism.
Yeah.
Do you vote Ellis on the team?
I would.
Great, that makes 2 out of 3.
So,
Ellis
you guys
is now
had a
on
chance
our
to
team.
talk to any of the teachers yet?
I
If I give you any flack, just tell him
I'd
that.
love to pick the central woman's brains. Gosh, species fascinates
He
me.
had a vote.
You, staring a little bit there, bud.
No, sorry, I just had a. How do you have an extra set of legs?
I assume by growing them.
Wait.
Probably.
Oh.
How do you feel about Miss Balakosa?
Oh, don't get me wrong. She's lovely. The anatomy fascinates me. Sometimes I can't even control my own legs. It's just.
Miss Balakosa is the one with the wings.
Oh.
I'd just be thirsty. I wouldn't really notice.
Whoa.
Is it half empty?
Oh,
it's time. It's time.
It's finally time. Gather up with the people with the same.
Come on.
Guess it's time for us to get out.
Oh, okay. With you?
Yeah, we gotta stand over here in line.
Okay.
Kind of in line. It's not a very strict line. It's kind of like a huddle puddle.
Perhaps where all those are.
Oh, yes, let's do that.
What was your name again? Sorry.
Hello, Murtish. Murtish Miyoshimo.
I looked real hard.
Okay. I think Lothario.
Lothario.
Sorry.
I'll remember that. I'll try.
No worries at all.
I'll shuffle.
I think Kiki might be having some issues at the moment. Are we missing anyone else? Is everyone here?
Ooh.
Alright, well, let's get started then. Good morning, everyone. I'm sure you've noticed we have a few new faces in our ranks today. And in fact, we'll be starting with that. Professors, if you'd like to introduce yourselves.
You guys? First in line.
Right. Me? Oh boy, let me get down again. Sorry, there we go.
Impressive. He's impressive.
Alright then. Welcome. Hello everybody, the name is Professor Brandybuck Bombadil, and I will be your new professor in alchemy and potion crafting.
You said it.
Which one of you will
Shut
be
up.
interested? Please do come talk to me. We have lots to talk about in the arts of alchemy and potion crafting. Yes, and Maybe something a little bit more if you're interested in more special arts. But that's another day. Anyways, that's for me for now.
Greetings, students. It is a pleasure to see all your faces. My name is Professor Day. I am happy to be teaching you all. I will be your replacement for your external magic professor. I hope to get along with all of you. Any questions, please do come forward.
I apologize, Professor. You may want to go to the center and speak up. It's a little hard to hear for the others.
Oh, that's perfectly fine. Apologies. I hope you can hear me a lot better. I apologize for that.
Yes, better.
Better. Good to hear it. I am Lilith Wilbur Days, or you may be calling me Professor Days. It is a pleasure to meet you all. If any questions, please do come to me. I will be your external magics professor. Please be on your best behavior.
Good morning, cadets. I'm Professor Rollins. Defensive tactics. I'll be teaching you all the ways of defenses, all the way through strategic planning. Hope you all can be competent. And can't wait to be with you all.
Defense teacher.
I like that
one. Magic.
Hello, everyone.
It's very big.
My name is Mordred Clarence. I will be teaching languages and cultures from the Undercity. I hope we all get along.
And if the rest of you could step back for me? Of course.
Hello, students. My name is Viri Castell. You can call me Chancellor Castell. I'm looking forward to meeting you all in the coming days. Now, I apologize for Lady Marlowe's quick leave. She came here to keep the school organized while the rest of the staff were collected. She's a busy woman and has returned to her work. Any concerns you would have with her, or you'd bring to her, you are welcome to bring to me. Now, I've heard of the losses sustained during what was intended to be a simple hunt. My deepest sympathies to those affected. However, I believe it would be wise if you all to realize something. We are at war. The world is tearing itself apart, and as each day passes, we get closer and closer to inevitability. One or two students trying to play hero, but 3 killed. We do not need heroes to save this world. Now, Chancellor Castell, you may wonder, doesn't the fact that we wish to save Australia make us heroes? No, 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 you are severely mistaken. Having a heroic goal will make you a hero. Heroes are stupid. Heroes throw themselves into the fray into unbeatable fights for fame and glory. Heroes sing songs of their ridiculous escapades to receive praise from the masses who don't know any better. Heroes are careless. Heroes are stupid. And these heroes have failed us time and time again. Failed to get rid of the rifts. To rid the world of this plague. They have failed you. Your heroes, the people you're faith in, the people have failed. They have proven to us we do not need heroes. We need good soldiers. Good soldiers are smart. They are cunning. They know how to follow orders. They have common sense. They are willing to use their lives and the lives of those around them for the greater good, for their cause. We need soldiers. I know many of you cling to the ideals of heroism. You are children, after all. But I argue you stopped being children 10 years ago. Grow up, get the idea out of your head that you can be a hero. Get the idea out of your head that you want to be a hero. Heroes are useless. Be a soldier. And if you can't, I expect you to come to me so I can ensure your safe passage off the island. There are many others out there willing to become soldiers. If you believe yourself ready to be a soldier, all of you better start acting like it. Meetings held in this auditorium are briefings. As such, when you hear that bell ring, regardless of time of day or what you are doing, you will be in here within 60 seconds. I expect every one of you to be standing at attention. This means standing with your feet shoulder width apart, standing up straight, squaring your shoulders. You better not look anywhere else but at me unless you have very good reason to. You do not speak, nor so much as utter a laugh or noise unless spoken to. You will respond quickly, loudly, and respectfully. I expect every one of you to respond. If any of you break any of these rules, you will all be punished for disrespecting your superior officer. Do I make myself clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes.
ma'am. And sir.
Okay.
Good.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am.
To continue with this thread. It has been brought to my attention that a number of you have been causing trouble around the academy. One specifically that has been brought to my attention is one Byron White Rowe. You have caused quite a stir. You've not only stolen precious potions from the infirmary, but stole a book from the dungeons, which is a place you all know to be off limits. This, among many things, has made the staff question your ability as a soldier and especially as a team leader. As such, you will be stripped of your role as captain of Lumen. If you are a team leader, chosen by your team to represent them, and you act in such, you not only make your team look bad, but show staff that your team doesn't deserve to choose a new leader for yourselves. As such, I will be signing Lumen a new team leader for the day today, and I would like to talk to the team in my office after announcements. Speaking of announcements, I will be carrying those out from here on out. New unsorted. I apologize for the rude awakening. I hope you all will become the soldiers we need. You will live up to what is expected of you. And as for school rules, I'm going to go over them again to warn those who are new and to remind those who seem to be struggling to remember. Use of magic, as well as use of the arena and target range, is prohibited, accompanied or supervised by a member of staff. Traveling around campus after nightfall, without permission, unless accompanied, is prohibited. Accessing another student's chambers without permission or after nightfall is strictly prohibited. Relationships that go beyond friendship are strictly prohibited. Make sure your chores are done each day in order to keep the grounds maintained. Books are not to be removed from the library. Letters are to be kept to a minimum, and any letters sent or received will be reviewed by staff. Attendance at breakfast is mandatory, and punishment for breaking any of these rules will be shared by your entire team. Do I make myself clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, yes. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
New students, it is your job to make yourself known to the teams and team captains and figure out which team you'd like to be a part of. If you're not chosen for a team, you will be assigned one. Those sorted that have been offered a spot on a team that they intended to take, you will be now properly sorted. Please come up to my left, your right. Anyone who intends to take a spot on a team. Now, before we sort anyone, keep in mind, team leader and sorted. This is a big decision. This is going to be your team until you graduate, die, or leave the academy. You will be expected to work as a team, fight alongside each other, to work together day in and day out, regardless of whether we're on the battlefield or at home. You will be expected to be seen together and to act as a unit, whether that be now or something you work towards. Is this clear, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
sir.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes.
All right. Unsort, come up on stage right here. Does anyone have a slot on Team Aqua? No? Team Ignis. captain of Team Ignis. Have you indeed offered a slot to this? What is your name?
Lyra.
Have you offered a slot to Lyra?
Ma'am, we all agreed
Then come up.
to offer. Yeah.
On the right. Come here. And, sir, what is your name?
My name is Zukuzu.
Lyra, here. Okay. Lyra. Ready to be part of Team Ignis. To work with all the members of that team, to work through any trials or tribulations that being part of this team may bring.
Yes.
Good. Zuku, are you and your team ready to welcome this member into your ranks? To work together as a unit and to face these trials and tribulations head on?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. And welcome, Lyra. Team Ignis. You can both exit that way.
Yes, ma'am.
Lumen team.
I think it's best to just be silent.
Team Stella. What is your name?
Ellis, ma'am.
And who is the captain of Stella?
We currently do not have one.
I'm getting conflicting answers. Cadets? Which is true?
It seems that you have a captain indeed. Step forward.
And what is your name, sir?
Isaac Shane, ma'am.
Ellis. Are you ready to be part of Stella? To work with all members of the team and work through any trials and tribulations that being part of the team may bring?
Yes.
Good. Isaac. Are you and your team ready to welcome this member into your ranks? To work together as a unit and to face those trials and tribulations head on?
We are.
Then welcome Ellis to Team Stella. You may exit.
Thank you, ma'am.
Team Terra. Oh. And who is the captain of Terra?
Yeah, ma'am.
Then come up. What is your name?
My name is Tenebus Virtual, ma'am.
Yours?
Krista.
Krista. Are you ready to be Team Terra? To work together with all members of the team and to walk through any trials and tribulations that being part of this team may bring?
Yes, ma'am.
Tenebus. Are you and your team ready to welcome this member into your ranks? To work together as a unit and to face those trials and tribulations head on?
Yes, ma'am.
Then welcome, Krista, to Team Terra. Umbra. Is your captain? Who is your captain?
Kai.
He is not here?
No, ma'am.
I'm afraid we're going to delay this. I apologize.
Indeed.
And to be fair, this will be happening every couple of days. Team captains and unsorted, you are to be alerting for any decisions reached on the matter of teams. Now, there is going to be an event today. Today, you care to explain?
Yes.
I shall explain when you're all at the arena, but I'm going to hold an event today. It is team-based. You will not require your weapons, but if you wish to bring them, you may, as there are no limitations on what you can actually bring to this said event. I'll give you about 5 minutes, and you should meet me outside the arena. Captains, be a good sport and show the new student where that is. You have 5 minutes. Meet me there when the bell rings. And that's all I'll say on this matter. Oh, and another thing. For the new students that have no idea who I am Lupe Bellicosa. I'm the Eternal Magic Professor, and I shall teach you both the occult and define internal magic. That is all I wish to say. Now I must excuse myself and prepare things.
Of course. Unsorted. If you have been offered a slot on a team and you are unsure if you are going to take it or not, please go to that team. If you have been offered multiple slots, whichever one has less students at it currently. And as for the rest of you, I trust you all to disperse yourselves on a team. Each team should have 4 or 5 members. Do not overcrowd. Go on. Move.
Zuki, do you mind if I go with your buddy today? Whatever's going on? Okay. Seems like a good.
It's okay.
For the front line,
That is all.
Of course.
You all are dismissed. The bell will ring soon to alert you to go to the arena.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Right.
Yes, ma'am, or sir.
I'll go with my glasses back. I'll be
And
right back.
Team Lumen.
I'm gonna grab my sleeves.
Your name?
I would like you to meet me outside my office.
I should probably just hit the arena. Yeah, we can meet there.
Alright.
Team stuff. I hope you don't mind me sitting on in here. Yes.
Oh, of course
It's
not.
a pleasure, of course.
No silence. You have to remember.
Remind me of your name?
Tempest Fairmorn. Oh, tell, of course.
Tem?
Chancellor, ma'am.
We have time to Kai's. One of them is a teacher.
We actually had a different team leader for Stella, but he left us only a few days ago. He gave me a letter to give to the next person in charge. I believe that would be you.
Yes, it would be.
Team leader right now.
Thank you, ma'am.
Congrats on your sorting.
Thank you, ma'am.
Have a good day.
Thank you, ma'am.
Think myself as so.
I'm not getting into this with you. Back off.
Ma'am, he said to keep any updates of
This is the rest of the team stuff.
wish to join the team.
This is Christopher. Soria.
Well, there was someone called Jack who had recently accepted my
Sorry to
invite.
see that.
Pleasure.
To meet you all.
Unfortunately, that was a little bit planned on my part.
Okay.
I hope you enjoy your
So, let us go show you around a little bit.
I would appreciate that, certainly.
I'm gonna bring mine just in case.
I'll be joining momentarily.
In case you were told, I originally accepted the Lumen invite, but after hearing that,
I have any of my own.
it's against
That's
my
what I need
laws.
to talk to you about the school. See if you can get me something.
Alright. So we have the administration offices over in this direction here, the staff lounge, the headmaster's office, and the counselor's office.
What exactly did you tell Buttercup? Well, exactly what.
Over here,
Indeed.
to the right,
Yes.
there's a path leading to 2 different towers. One has a map room, and the other is the library. Just a reminder that books are not to be taken out of the library.
Yes, I've heard that caused quite a stir.
It has.
The shouting was received earlier, at least.
over here we have our different classrooms. Everything has a sign above it, easy. Let's just head out here.
Professor.
Ah, here's just the man I was looking for.
I'm going to need you to hang behind a little bit.
Right. Over here to the left is our infirmary.
Yes.
You can find
I
Dr.
see.
Draconis in here most times of the day. If there's any emergencies, there's a bell on the inside of the door on the right.
Of course.
And that will call the doctor. Honestly, probably
I
most of
see.
the school will come.
What, to watch his madness unfolds, or to try and help?
Probably a little of both.
Makes sense.
So you're from Droza, you said?
Yes, Droza. Solaris, to be honest.
Oh.
Little market town it is, or city, I suppose.
That's the place run by the assassins, I believe.
Yes, certainly has quite the interesting charm about it, I will say. To learn an interesting lifestyle there.
I bet. I'm sure one of the professors have shown all the students about the teleportation pad.
Yes, we used the blue one, I believe, to head to the main building previously. And of course they informed us of the nausea-inducing effects, as it were.
Yes. It's not terribly pleasant.
I'd suggest using
Yes,
it about once a day so you get used to
exhilarating.
it.
Yes, that, I believe that's exactly what they said, actually. Oh, talking of Professor.
Yes.
Hurry up now.
Understood. I'll be returning momentarily.
Well,
Of course. Right. We have the gates heading to
Suppose I
outside the
made to get
school
you in
over
the
there.
fine spirit or something like that. I don't know.
indeed.
Do not believe we are allowed past them.
As far as them,
I'm assuming excursions outside the school do, of course, happen.
Yes, we had an excursion just a few days ago, actually.
Well,
Ah,
coming to the
interesting.
school with some previous issues, just a little bit of a fright. Nothing to more or less
So that's
get
an
yourself
interesting
down about.
native see at your hip. I haven't seen anything like it.
Yes, it's a. I have been told I'm not meant to take this out, but, well, nothing's stopping me, it would seem. It is a Kapesh. I believe that's what call it, anyways. Yes, a student earlier thought it was a sickle, and I had to kindly inform them, of course, of the blade's length. Not going to see this cutting many weeks, that's for sure, although I'm sure it could do a fine job.
Yes.
I believe it's more suited to other things, anyways.
Yes. Oh, very interesting weapon. Well, let's hurry to the arena before Mrs. Belloc
Of course.
gets upset with us. In the arena is obviously this large imposing structure to our left, flanked with the two statues.
Yes, that certainly stands out. I'll say that.
Yes, just beyond that we have the training grounds, and beyond that we have some fields for farming as well as some greenhouses that haven't had much use yet. The building you see over there to your right is where the unsorted will be
Yes.
sleeping. I believe it is a warehouse. Here it's drafty.
Well, that's fine. I'm sure I've slept in worse places than a warehouse. In fact, I think I've slept in two myself beforehand.
Well, yes, just beyond that would be the dormitories. all color-coded for convenience.
Yeah. Well, we got the people Nether now, so that's fun.
That's from what I heard.
Yep.
Lucky we stayed together.
You
Everyone
wandered
for me.
off. I needed you back at the main. It's quick, but I need you there.
Alright.
Let's head there now.
Where's Lyra, by the way? Oh, well, speaking of the devil, never mind.
We'll find out when it starts.
Do I need to go get a weapon from over there?
They said weapons are not necessary, so probably not.
Okay.
Also, Lyra, go ahead in the front.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
Ignis, line up. Ventus, line up. Terra.
I believe you can move a bit closer. I'm not sure we're not already lined up.
Indeed.
Oh, move a little.
I suppose
Yep,
the
okay.
unsorted have been placed into teams then.
Yes, ma'am.
We have Elias with us.
Excellent. I'm going to assume this is everyone who's going to arrive. Very well then.
There's more are coming.
Ah, latecomers.
There is a meeting with the Chancellor as well.
Yes, she's informed me. I've made aware of that. Right. Since we're all here, I'm going to explain to you what the task is today. Your task is quite simple. There will be 2 boars which you will need to work together to put into cages. These boars I will create myself using illusion magic. So that means if they bite you or if they scratch you, it will hurt, but it won't leave a mark. You have a time limit to get these boars into the cages to follow, but I'm not going to tell you what this time limit is. Also, the rules are also quite simple. You must not pick up either of the boars, or else that is an automatic fail. If you do not do it within the time limit, that is a fail. If you cause any harm to these boars, i.e. stab them or scratch them, that is an automatic fail. Now, let's see. Ah yes, and one more thing. You are allowed to use whatever you see fit. So that goes for shields and other weapons. I want to see ingenuity, creativity. I want to see teamwork. I want to see you calling out to your fellow teammates what you are doing. So if you are opening a cage ready for the boar, shout it out. If you're grabbing the boar, let your teammates know. So if you've grabbed a boar, shout it out to your teammates. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Good. The cages are quite heavy. On the front of the cages there are levers which you need to use to open the door. This takes one person with both hands to push down the lever, so then you can allow the boar into the cage. If I don't see both hands on the cage, then you are failed if you try and put the boar inside the cage. Now, I'll give you some time to prepare, and I'm going to place teams together as some of you may be being called away to talk to the Chancellor. So, we'll have you 2 work together for this task. Well, you're quite big teams, actually. This team, you're going to work with Stella for the day. So please stand with them. Terra and fellow people there. You as well. Stand with Stella.
Yep.
Not you, Zuku.
Oh.
Stand with your team. That's alright, there we go. And these 2 teams are working together as well.
So Elliot.
These 2 teams enter the arena and stand on the left. Don't go on the dirt. Action!
Right.
Come on, start moving.
I should probably explain, till she comes back.
Alright.
Quiet.
Stella and Co, you'll take the right side. Do not go in the dirt. You have 2 minutes to start talking, discussing ideas.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Up to it.
You're on the wrong side.
We were told left.
Her left.
Alright, no.
I wanted my left.
Sir.
Authoritative voice. Very nice.
What I was trying for. Alright. So. We'll need the strongest of us to corral and hold the war down. It would be probably yourself and Soria. The rest will probably be needed to guide the boar into these 3 units. So we are our catch unit and then our push unit. We would need somebody to handle the actual cage. Ellis, would you like to handle the cage?
Of course.
Handle the cage, alright. And I will be on the push unit as well. Any problems with this?
None at all.
Alright.
Say, do we all happen to know how a boar works? Has anyone hunted one before, perhaps?
I have not.
Oh. Sorry, I don't believe I ever caught your name.
It's Avi, but as much as like boys act, these aren't technically real boys. So should we take that into consideration?
Possibly. There might be some kind of strange X factor in the task. For the most part, unless something strange happens, we deal with it as if it is a normal animal.
Well, if it's just a normal animal, then boys are just naturally aggressive.
So they'll charge it.
Right, if I've not made myself there, you should be taking this time to discuss ideas and what you shall be doing between the captains and between yourselves. Have anyone got any questions?
The only question we have so far, ma'am, is will they all be acting as actual animals, or will there be something strange about them?
Yes, slightly. Although they will be under my control.
Of course.
Is that the only question?
And just to clear up the ruling a little, you mentioned something about holding the balls or carrying them. Was there a rule
Yes, you're
against
allowed
it?
to push them, you're allowed to drag them, but you're not allowed to pick them up. They're very big and they're very fat.
Very well.
Alright, I'll let you discuss between yourselves what you wish to do. And a reminder, you're allowed to use whatever you see fit. Get creative with it.
Of course.
Perhaps everyone should take a shield, and we could use the shield to.
I was actually just about to say that.
I'm going to be chasing a boar. I'm not going to be as fast with this thing on my back.
Perhaps you don't need to be. If we could lure them towards you.
Well, I believe the most important thing is to get to a boar, take it to the ground without hurting it, and then have one of our 3 main gatherers drag the thing without lifting it to the cage.
It would be a good idea if possibly we could try and use our shields to form sort of a wall to guide it into the cage. That way it would be easier than having to actually take down the bull.
That's a fine idea.
Push team is to do. But it might be difficult to fully corral a bull with such few numbers in such a large area.
But if you can scare it towards the chasers, we might be able to get it in our hands.
Yes, that's the plan. And once the chasers take it to the ground, yes?
It seems like there's some preemptive cages on there. I think it would be good to know the locations of it. You know, again, you know.
Yes. Well, the thing is, everything everything will depend on where the boars start, and where we start. So it's going to have to be fairly dynamic. Over planning will simply meet with failure.
Just an old cage I need to be at, so I can do my thing.
Okay, Krista.
I need a status report for what's going on.
Alright, we are having our strongest members being the ones to grapple the boar. The rest of us are to push them towards those who are strong enough to do so. And once we have a boar grappled, we will drag it, not lift it. The lifting the boar above the ground is a failure. Drag it to the
I was
cage.
trying to get your attention.
Where Krista will use both hands, close the cage.
Okay, so we just need to grab a ball and push it.
Excuse me, sorry. A moment of your time. You have a shield, yes?
Yes.
I'm rather unfamiliar with the correct usage of such a tool. How would this be used for, say, I don't know, a charging ball?
I have only had a
hold it
shield
or-
for a few days myself.
Oh. I see.
I believe perhaps if the boar is coming head on, step to the side and try and use it at an angle to guide it away from you.
Well, Miss Direction is certainly along the right steps.
Grabs it and tilts it.
To here.
If you angle it away from
Yes,
you,
that-
it's not coming at you full force. The force will be pushed in a different direction.
I see. So almost as if it's an extension of yourself.
Yes. Any weapon, shield, item that you are using, you should always see as an extension of yourself.
Of course. I am more akin to seeing them as useful tools to achieve an end, of course. That has been almost useful recently.
You will help us on the pushing here.
Well,
our goal is to curl the ball towards one of these three. That is our main goal. And from that,
okay then.
After a ball is caught and captured, then we can focus on getting the ball into a cage.
Okay, so we have a contingency plan for if the ball escapes.
Then we stay dynamic. We continue to try to push it into a corner,
Okay.
or push it towards one of the of us.
Well, if it's escaped, then it's going to be a hard uphill battle to get it back in because it's not going to want us anywhere near it. We're going to need to cause some distractions. Create a lot of noise.
Yes,
A
a lot
of
of
noise.
banging up against the shields.
Yes.
Towards the middle, I believe would be best.
If it's going into a corner, then that would be easier, pushing it into a corner.
Excellent. You grabbed the
Sounds good.
shield. How's this
Oh, I
team
believe that
doing
was.
so far?
I come up with a plan, and yes, I think we even
Would
have
you
a
say you feel
contingency
ready?
plan. Yes.
I believe so.
Are you hidden, Tenebris?
I am, yes.
I'll give you a few more seconds, or well, minutes even, and then you'll be up first.
Okay.
That's fine.
Okay. So
Right.
let's arrange ourselves into formation. So Solir and David will be up for grappling the ball. Is that correct?
I believe until
sorry,
we can
very particular spot. You,
a less open area.
Oh, sorry.
We should
I
go
just
as a
not-
long
not-
shield
I get.
wall. Even those without the shields.
I'm quite
And
curious
then once
as
we
well.
have it in a corner,
You look
Yes,
cool though.
then
thank you.
others move in.
I'm quite fond of your
Okay.
the ears and the tail.
So
Yeah.
Just gotta be able to cast
Well, all of you just
We should
blends
we
together
should open them up.
exquisitely.
Close that down.
Yes, it is a
again.
great.
Do we have any square shields? Because these gaps
Yeah.
might be an issue.
Well, according to like they're rather large.
And
Indeed.
very.
It's
Small
a-
gap like that.
Oh, sorry. Perhaps we should keep an eye on
She
this.
also said they were very heavy earth inside.
Although you are a master ball hunter, from what I've heard.
Honestly,
Not
like
really
I said,
master.
we'll probably have to stay fairly.
Just I know how they act.
Over planning.
Well, that is very useful.
You did any hunting yourself?
I'm not boars. Few small things, yes.
Well,
Okay.
to
So,
brief it,
Tell us joining your Team Stella today.
Yes. I don't think this should
Okay,
be
then.
too difficult.
to put it
I think we have good people here. I think we can do this.
boys are rather aggressive and they seem
As long as
to
we work
challenge
together, we
about
should be able to
anything
do it easily.
that makes a loud noise or just stands tall.
They're almost like bears, but they don't care
I
how
don't
big you
believe
are.
that easily might be the right word.
No.
It's very easy to overestimate
Okay.
things.
Yeah. Basically,
Well,
feel challenging and menacing, and they'll probably go
I
for you.
need you all to be on your guard and to give it all.
Though, do be careful. A full-on charge from a
Might be a
boar will
situation
take
where
you
that
out.
or might be the meaning between life and death.
so misdirection.
We need to take this
Okay.
seriously, as it were, survival mission.
Yes.
I mean,
Of course.
you
I
can
believe if there's any of these
direct
groups
about
that can do it,
500
it
pounds of
is
wild hog.
Hey, wait,
Alright.
isn't Stella known as the
True.
shield group?
Yes.
Do you not see the irony here?
I do.
Empress, why?
Alright. If you're all ready,
And you
follow me.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, which is why I suggest
Well,
Callum,
here
like,
goes.
he could use his berry.
Okay, the berries.
I was wondering if they're technically.
Everybody line up. Catches along the flanks.
What does that mean?
Okay. Yeah.
Catch you as
Behind the
your
rear.
pusher.
Oh, the
Flank means the rear, so since you're pusher, come up here, fill up this.
okay.
Okay.
Alright.
And if you can,
Remember, communication is key. Shout out what you're doing to each other. Make it known to your teammates what you are doing. I'm going to spawn in the bears using my illusion magic, boars using my illusion magic now. They won't move until I release flare into the air. Once that flare is released, the boars will be released and your time will start. Is everything clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
Good.
Yes, ma'am.
Ready?
Yes.
will ever be.
Alright. That is very large.
Yes.
That's a big boy.
Oh boy.
it's like half my size.
Don't
So we
underestimate
should
it.
focus in on one boar.
Remember, it's not real.
We should focus in on the one on the left.
It's kind
Spread out, push it into the far corner.
Doesn't matter if it's cute, it's part of ours.
Yeah. We should.
Right.
We should try a semicircle, right?
Yes.
Semi-circle.
So we may need to spread out a bit.
Alright, students. Best of luck.
In 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay.
Moving in.
Right.
Okay.
Here we go.
Push
Okay,
it.
go
Back
into the
left.
corner.
Back left. Yes.
Back left.
Alright.
Who's in?
Forward. Focus on this one. Focus on.
To be rabid. Okay, pen back.
Okay. Okay.
Alright.
Okay. In
Move it
position.
forwards. Move it forward.
Woods.
Move it forward.
Krista's in
Spread out. Move.
position.
Okay, focus this one.
That's painful.
Focus this one. This ball. Okay.
Which?
All right.
Left one, leftmost one.
Left one. Oh, that was shot.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, turn
right.
around.
This one here. This one here.
Behind us.
All right.
Come here. Come. Okay. Yes, Isaac around the ball.
Try to grab it. Oh, yeah, try to grab it. Surround it.
Close in.
Your ankles.
Close in.
Yeah, they've jumped on.
David. Shove it in. Shove it in.
Push.
Sit in. Don't hurt it.
Use your eyes.
Someone open.
I did open it.
Right.
Close it, both hands.
Hold it, hold it.
All right.
Right. You have one more.
Next one.
Water patch.
One more.
Time's
okay.
running out. Right.
Team. Spread out. Spread out.
Semicircle. Okay.
Right.
Drop.
I'm all right. Focus on the ball. Focus on the ball. Where is it?
Hey, out of formation. Semicircle around that ball.
All right.
Running.
Wait.
All right. All right.
This one's more.
Line out. Line out.
Maybe that cage. That cage is a lot wider.
Okay, ball again. Keep going.
Ivy. Look out on that.
All right. Spread out. Spread out. Surround it. Don't let it through.
Krista, can you look up? Cage as well.
It's running off. It's running off.
Get behind.
All right. Keep in formation. Keep the line.
He's got it. He's got it. Push.
Pin it.
Surround.
All right. Push it. Push it.
Push.
Pin it.
Push.
Push.
Big one.
Push it to the left.
The big one.
All right. Drag it. Come on. Come on. All right.
Push.
Someone go to the left.
Get to the left. All right. Close both hands. Close it.
Oh my god.
Oh boy.
That is the second ball. Well done. Gather round.
Screw it.
I seem to have lost my hearing. Gather.
Is everything alright, Christopher?
Yes, I'm just reading.
Mind if I asked what?
Book on bananas.
Oh.
I'm a very learned person.
I see.
Like bananas. They're very good for you.
I will keep that in mind.
Look, Krista.
Hello. I just finished up.
Neat. I'm too busy reading my book.
That broke. Never formed back until the end.
God damn it.
I'll prepare for the next time.
Apologies for my absence.
Only temporary.
It might not just be a bite.
You missed the, I believe, the third. It was messy, but they completed the task.
No, I saw the last half of it.
That is good. Oh, that she is going to finish.
It was
Did miss the
professor
second
tried to
team,
give advice
which is unfortunate.
It was
transformation before they went to
kind of fun to see it and not be in the midst of it.
that we weren't able to bring in this morning.
I think I learned a lot.
Very disappointed.
What were your thoughts on that group?
Talk about all of this.
I thought that, well, from what I saw, I came around about halfway. The effort to try and, of course, garner the boar's attention with feed, while it could work, is very risky. Putting one person at risk, while it might prove effective if you're looking to sacrifice someone, could involve an untimely death. So I believe at least grouping or being prepared with more behind them would alleviate that problem, perhaps.
Absolutely not.
The response was slow, and I'm not really one for group tactics, so I can't say any more, I'm afraid.
And it seems like their formation was all over the place. Towards the end. Most of the people stayed towards the midway, so.
Is the final team just the three?
Just
Which
free.
was the one who talked
I
back to
wonder
me.
if that is their punishment?
Maybe.
You know, it's
What's
very
his name?
incredible how the
Byron?
pointed one
Yes.
quickly they made it.
I believe that was the name shouted out.
I could agree with you. Talks back to me behind my back. Talks back to me to my face. Multiple times. And which is
Seems to be quite a ruckus behind us.
I can't understand what she's going through. I can't understand how to deal with these people.
There's one now when I need to talk about weakness. In that team, they were like, they were wanting to go immediately back when I've been trying to get a critique of each team. Trying to get them to admit their weaknesses.
We will see how quickly they fall apart, and hopefully.
Wait a second.
And there goes my bet.
Where's the other team?
I believe it's just them.
Unless they're
It's just
Wait, but where's Grim?
I believe I saw them
Is there
outside.
Sarah?
About that way, near the training ground.
Possibly.
Oh,
And the small one.
Sigils, maybe?
Don't know her name. Vaike. Ran off.
I believe they are team formation suggestions.
Oh. Team formations. So that would mean these are individuals, correct?
Yes.
Oh, she went to retrieve her shield.
Strange. It doesn't say who would be ideal where.
Well, that would
You
be
would think
decided within the teams
those with-
themselves.
Actually, if you don't mind, just
That is true, but from my understanding, of course, with offences, supports, and defences, to have your supports at the front, a defence here, and then your offences at the back would, of course, be folly. So, or perhaps they just mean to say that we should probably understand that in the first place.
Yes. It would seem to be common knowledge to not put your last line of defense in the front.
Of course. But I do believe there are a few that would still do that.
Well,
Many
leading
people
them to
fall
their
to
own death.
reckless mistakes. Indeed. And I think we can both agree that that is very stupid.
Of course.
Honestly, I dare say, quite funny. You think people in power would order a group of soldiers to run off to their deaths?
Smarter than what happened last time. At least there is
Just the smartest plan yet.
of a plan.
Pardon? Sorry, it appears I lost my hearing momentarily.
Changing it on the fly, which is
Not to worry. Of course, a lot of noise in the arena,
Yes.
especially with that ball. I was saying that it's interesting to think that perhaps people in power themselves would be folly to make the mistake of sending in a group of soldiers in incorrect formations. But I'm sure it happens.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I remember, Mr. Deshane, yes, he introduced you, but I'm afraid I'm a little short on the memory of names. I've had a lot subjected to me today, including, I dare say, a very angry illusory bore. So, if I may kindly ask your name again?
Ellis.
Ellis. I see.
And yours?
Well, yes, I'm, Tel Karas, or just Tel, if that's easier for you.
Of course.
Just the three of them.
It's a pleasure.
Where's the fourth one, though?
You, said that shield of yours, you've only had it for a few days?
Yes, it was gifted to me by our previous team leader.
Ah, I see. I do remember at the announcement hall there was a little bit of an issue there where they called out for a leader and it was said there was none, and then there was one claiming that. So
Well, Isaac wants to be the next team leader, but we have not officially decided on a new team leader, as we have only been without one for a few days. And of course, it's something to be discussed.
I see. That makes sense.
I'll be
But
entirely
don't you
honest.
think someone stepping forward to take that role kind of shows himself as the leader to prevent as themselves?
He is not the only one in our team who has stepped forward.
And they went rather past his capture, even just one.
And
Don't worry,
who
I'm
else
sure
might that be?
I'm sure before next time, I'll be outvoted. But the team wanted you on the team. I was not averse to it, and Sorely wasn't making a vote, so I had to step up if we were to have you on Team Stella.
I'm sure the Chancellor would have understood that we don't have a team leader at the current time, but I understand your thinking.
Oh, don't worry, as a part of Team Stella, I'll easily be outvoted. I know none of the rest of you like me. It's fine.
Actually, I've not made my decision on you, but it appears as though I have given you reason to dislike me, as you seemed opposed to the idea of me being a part of this team to begin with.
No, I was opposed to the idea of Soren pulling you onto the team without discussing it with the rest of the team.
I see. That does seem to be a problem. Well, I do hope that I can sway your opinion of me in a positive light at some point.
I have no problems with you. You seem to have a good head on your shoulders at least. You did well during the exercise. And we definitely believe you will help.
Thank you.
I believe Team Stella is better with you on it.
Thank you very much. That means a lot.
I must apologize, but I have to get back to my room. It was a long trip, for sure.
Well, I do believe for the rest of us, we need to get done our chore for the day. Just doing a little bit of gardening, watering the plants.
It is after dark. I will accompany you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Go with you.
It's quite all right.
Am I to be with you for these chores? I'm unsure. As a
yes.
local-
Assigned
You are
yourself to the team for the day, so yes.
Very well, very well. Okay.
Thank you.
Alright.
If you excuse me,
Over
I've
here,
used
ma'am.
a lot of my prana, so
To the gardens in
feeling quite
the
tired.
main building, then.
Of course.
Yes.
I shall.
I was never told where our rooms were.
I'll take you there now, actually.
Just letting you know beforehand.
You have a good night.
Alright, so now letting you know, we're heading for the main building for our chores.
Well done, students. You are dismissed if you did not yet know.
Thank you, Mum.
Sub-Hero.
Thank you.
Good work.
Sleep
Isaac.
well.
Yes, ma'am.
Meet me in my classroom in around 5 minutes.
Of course, ma'am. Need to get our chores done quickly.
Tell me. What did you think?
As I said to the other professors, first one was a bit sloppy. Second one, the worst formation, the worst planning
Something new every day.
I have to say. The third one, the most broken.
You know, bananas are technically a berry.
They were very broken. I did not.
Book all about bananas and plantains.
That useful information.
No, but I enjoy it.
Something making you happy.
I do love a good banana.
Maybe that explains some things.
Hmm?
No.
Yes. I think I learned my lesson.
Aiko. So usually I just go like, Aiko.
Leader Ventus should take you then.
I believe they are walking, Chancellor.
I've decided to walk.
That being the case, I guess we're gonna move on.
But I like fairy tales.
You're
Stay in company.
Gil or was it Gil?
Stay in company of a teacher.
It's more like, so if you come over here, divine magic is sanctified and sacred. Faith, hope, happiness, love, caring, empathy.
Well,
I have faith in my teammates. I love my teammates. I am happy with my teammates.
Hey, Sophia, I'm
Feeling
not...
this emotion.
Sorry, I couldn't help
I
it.
can.
You're supposed to be
Sorry,
accompanied by a teacher at night.
small and cute.
You cry?
I'm
not crying, you're crying,
Yeah?
who's crying?
Indeed you are.
Do you like it when
Do not let it happen
people
again.
pull your tail?
No,
That was
not
just
at all.
really sweet, okay?
Would you rather it
Did I miss something?
We all took
You
the
want to be
teleporter.
accompanied by a teacher at night,
Oh,
which means you should take the teleporter next time.
yes.
Everybody
Have to get used to it.
Thank you, ma'am. Let me quick work of it. What's up?
Your time.
grab a room, give a quick brush.
Brush, yes, yes.
Honestly, I'm probably mostly just focused on the area by the beds.
By the beds? Alright.
Where the extra soil would be.
Of course. Ah, yes.
Christopher, do you want to get them all watered?
Yes.
Well.
Pile there.
Yes, that's probably best.
Another pile with you two.
Yes, that's definitely the way to go. You know, what I didn't expect was to be sweeping soil when I read that letter, but could be worse, of course.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, it's to help build camaraderie with teams.
I see.
Also, it helps make the school a bit of our own, you know?
True. It's certainly a way to get attached to your work. And I suppose it gives you something to bond over while complaining about.
Yes. I don't like doing this. I will admit that easily.
Yes, well, I must say I'm quite impressed by how you manage.
It's not comfortable, that's for fucking sure.
Oh.
Alright. I'm gonna have you to get to the pin.
Yes.
I'm reading the combat books personally.
Christopher, would you like help watering?
It will do, I think.
I've already got those ones. I've
Sweep it up.
forgotten about those ones.
I can handle those ones if you'd like.
Interesting way of collecting it. Back in Josie, we used to just kind of put it to the side and let the wind blow it away.
If you wouldn't mind holding the ladder for me.
Of course.
When it comes to actually using it, I wouldn't know where to start.
It's very hard to stand still right now. I don't know why. It's annoying me.
Maybe reading can help me figure that out.
Do be careful of water.
I have my head up. Should be fine.
I was talking to Sorley. He was under one of the plants.
See.
You're also under this one though, so do be careful.
You too, ma'am.
And I hope your illusionary boar enjoyed my food.
Watering it off the barrels.
Do you believe that's safe?
They're sturdy enough.
Do you want to go straight here, or do you want to go to the library first?
Alright. Should be good.
Oh, here, you took my... Thank you.
Oh, no worries.
Okay, we can start with the library quick. Show you that, and then we can take you to the we have very nice bedroom set up.
Mm-hmm.
Actually,
Can
you
you
won't
push
be
the ladder slightly over?
you won't be sleeping there
To
anymore,
the
will
right
you?
a little bit.
There you go.
No, I'll be sleeping with Team Ignis
Well,
Yes, the warehouse.
I should be good now. Alright. Thank you. That should be all.
Alright.
I'll take the ladder.
Thank you.
Very nice to make your acquaintance.
Of course, you too.
Is everything well?
Pleasure. I look forward to future conversations, and of course, excellent job with the bull.
Thank you, yourself as well.
Thank you.
We all did excellently.
Yes, could certainly say so.
Alright.
Anything, I think I've seen a lot of effort. I think that's what I'll need to do from now on.
You student.
Right.
What is your name?
Yes, yes. Tell Karas Fairmorn, Mom.
Do you know where you'll be staying?
I've been informed it's the warehouse, Mom.
I will guide you there. The rest of you, I trust you can make it to your own dorms.
Yes, Mom.
Yes, ma'am.
And you will be with Bellicosa momentarily. I need not worry. Make it right away to your dorms. Do you understand?
Yes, Mom.
Come on.
Have a good night, all.
Watch where you are going.
Yes, Mom. Thank you.
I hope for the future of this team. I hope we can all come together. I hope Stella can become strong. I hope I can be more than just a member. I hope I can become something important to Stella. I hope I can be more than I am. Erdri, fajnie. Suppose I'll have to keep working on it.
I'm going to return her to her dorm, and then I will get back.
I'll actually be staying in the warehouse tonight. I'm gonna see if I can find out which of the unsorted are supports.
Can I ask you something, Clover?
I don't know. Everything is so conflicted now. Everything is just against have people in one ear telling me some things and in the other telling me completely opposite things.
I would trust your gut. Sometimes it's right.
Regardless, thank you.
Ah, just the hooded person I wanted to see. I assume you've been talking with Sorlier recently?
Yes.
Wait just a second until they're done. You can take a seat.
I'd prefer to stand.
It has, but as soon as they lift the rule about being out at night, they should feel better. Sure.
Sorlier. Kinda disappointed. Kinda not. Why were you on the roof?
I told you we would be on the roof.
Yeah, and I said you shouldn't. It's dangerous up there. Could
I
fall.
was up there with her. She was fine.
No,
Was
that's...
she not?
I don't know. Haven't... My eyeballs can only see the outside.
Well, I'm sure she'll tell you if feels like it.
I don't know. I'm not the person who needs to be told anything. I hope you can, keep your word. And I hope you know what you're getting yourself into, Ellis.
I don't know what you're insinuating by that, but I can fend for myself.
That's good to hear. At least somebody can. Well, I didn't touch your tea. Should still be relatively warm.
Have a good night, Ellis.
You too, Sorlier.
Good night, Sarger.
You look down on me.
You're at a lower level than I am.
Ah, yeah. I'm sure you enjoyed the spectacle as well, right?
Spectacle?
Ah, never.
Well, if there's nothing that you'd like from me, then...
Stars. No, be careful.
Right.
That's all.
Good night, both.
The roof, really?
I hope Bobby isn't too mad at me for sleeping in the Stella Dome the past few days. I did promise to stay in the warehouse until all of them were sorted. Curious.
too.
On my shoulder.
Good job.
Thank you.
Alright. Off you two go.
Sir. Have a good night.
The beds.
Wow. Those are indeed, Hello, how are you?
Hello.
Hello.
I don't believe you've been properly
Didn't you get
introduced.
assigned to a team?
Yes, but it's of my own decision to stay here.
No.
I promised some people I would sleep here until they all got sorted.
Well, I do respect a good promise. Which
And
you
then
made.
and plus you get to experience the beds.
Yes, the beds.
Well, personally, I haven't slept on the
I
beds.
now understand why they call them that.
Yes.
There are various rugs, clothings,
just wood.
stuff like that you could use to
uh,
soften the beds.
I'll take your advice.
It was never one for green and yellow.
This one looks homey.
Oh well.
Tell.
Yes?
Instead of using the beds, I'd recommend the couch downstairs. It's more comfortable.
The couch?
Yes,
Is that free?
I used to sleep in it.
I see.
Once the teachers are out of the way, I will probably be...
Then, in that case, thank you very much for letting me know this. I think I'll clean that now. Maybe drop something on it to show it's mine, otherwise someone else is surely just going to lie down on it.
Mm. Well, the original unsorted, I know they won't touch it as they believed it to be mine. If they see you on it and you tell them that I allowed you to sleep on it, then I'm sure they won't have a problem. It's more the new students that you have to worry about.
I see. Well, I'm sure I can assert my dominance over them in some way. Although I prefer not to.
Perhaps try to
A
befriend
kind
them.
gesture of yours, thank you. Befriend? Yes. Definitely, they seem like the friendly sort.
I know where you're coming from, not being
Over.
the social type. Before coming here, I had not really spoken to another person outside of my immediate family for longer than a few minutes at a time.
I see. I never really was much of a serious talker, I think. But talking to people can be very useful. Learning about them, on the other hand, outside of, what's the best way to say it? More, co-worker relationship, perhaps? Yes. Learning about them outside of that was never of any interest to me before. But I think to survive here, I'm going to have to make some friendships, that's for sure.
Oh, of course, especially if you want to not be sleeping here. It's just finding a team that you resonate with and trying to show off your skills as much as possible, so that you can be
Of
accepted
course.
onto a team quickly.
Well, that's some good advice, sir. And showing off these skills, any particular tips you could give? Best thing things to show, how to impress. After all, you're someone who once was unsorted, and now you're a proud team member.
Well, I had it easy. I have a sword. And a capability for divine magic. So, apparently I was a hot item, as you might call it.
I see.
I was the first to be
That's
sorted,
interesting.
actually. Perhaps if you could show off your skills with that
Well.
weapon, you'll be more likely to be sorted. Do you have any magic capabilities?
I was actually trying to hold on to it for making quite a show, but that chance never arose today, you see. I'm a little partial to illusion magic, you see. Just like what was shown today with those boars. Not, of course, the summoning kind. That is far out of my league, but I'm sure anyone could say that about the professors. What I am able to do is, of course, a little bit of trickery here or there. Perhaps a good way to show it.
Before you try to show
Guess it wouldn't
it,
hurt. No one's really around. Yes. Yes.
professors usually come in, so I'll stand by and watch.
Thank you. Then I see there's someone over there. Perhaps
Should be
around
alright.
here will do the job. You see, for now, it's only for a brief moment, and I usually use it to throw off my opponents. But, well, let's just say, I'm the kind of person to disappear without a trace. Of course, the problem is, it's only for a brief second. But it has its uses.
A brief second could be the
What I
difference
found
between life and
is-
death.
Of course, and while some might see it as something that could perhaps be used in combat, which, when applying, I saw as being perhaps what they would want me to use it for, I must admit with my previous lifestyle it's come more in use for evading certain eyes. Perhaps you're seen walking a corner one moment, and you're not there the next, as you in fact quickly dashed the other way. Many opportunities come from losing someone's sight, even if just for a second.
Ah, yes, of course. I use that to my advantage, although I don't have the advantage of disappearing for a brief moment. I actually have to wait until a person looks in a different direction before I get an opportunity to leave. Although it's something you learn.
I see. Yes, I'm sure it's what's the best way to put it? Very useful for avoiding conversation.
Well, I did use it for that on my first few days, although I realized I would never be sorted if I continued. Not only that, but if you don't talk to others, if you are in any life or death situation, you'll know nothing about them, know nothing about their weaknesses, how reliable they are, their leadership skills. You'll be complete strangers that might bash with each other's fighting styles.
That is true. So, a situational skill at best when it comes to, well, the social element. But, one thing for sure, it most definitely could have been of use today. You see, now that I think about it, those boars, as they were charging us down, if we'd have been a bit more cohesive, if we'd have, I don't know, shouted, yelled, taunted at them, led them instead of them, to a degree, leading us, it could have gone different. Sorry, one sec.
I'll just look away
my,
from
my
this.
track has just run out. No. Amazing. Don't worry. You don't see anything. The couch is mine.
That's a way to claim, I suppose.
Yes.
Perhaps we should go stand
I could
down
claim
there.
it straight away. Yes, that might be a good idea, actually. Continue this conversation in a moment. Well.
Good night. I feel bad.
There are literal beds over there. This is not comfortable.
Why do you sleep in the boxes? There's beds over there. There's beds.
Right.
More. Don't mind me.
Yes, I'll sit.
You literally, you just said it's not comfortable at all.
All
I didn't
right,
say
this
that.
is quite comfortable.
You said it. I heard it.
I
Well,
didn't say that. I didn't mean that. That was a lie. I lied to you. I'm sorry.
as I was saying before,
Starting with the lies already. I see.
Good night.
those balls,
Have
yes.
fun.
The skill to perhaps mislead them could have been very useful. For example, for one of us with the shields to be very loud and to just gain their attention on that spot, pull them in, and to break line of sight in just a moment for them to rush into the cage. No one's harmed, cage is pulled, dealt with in a brief moment. Could imagine 2 people could pull that off. There's smoother ways to do things, I think, than rambling around loudly. Although that seems to be what they want you to do here. Unfortunately.
You surprise me. You seem to be more tactical minded than the others.
Well, growing up around Drosa and having to make a life for yourself there kind of forces you to look at things in that way. Although I wouldn't say I'm a master of group tactics, perhaps more along the lines of misdirection.
Hmm.
Well, eventful first day.
Yes. Well, at least you didn't come at a time where we were mourning students that had passed away.
Yes, I had heard that, of course. I even spoke to the counselor a little bit about it. Counselor, my apologies. But from what I understand, that's all out of the way now. Did that perhaps happen to some of the more, well, predecessors, I guess? Or my predecessors, after all. You, yourself. A couple of the others. Whoever was offered a team role. Oh.
Hello.
Out of all of the...
One thing I must say about warehouses.
Yes?
Carry on. Well, I will say very quickly, one thing I'll say about warehouses, it's hard to have a private conversation.
Most definitely.
Yes. Oh well.
It's hard to get any kind of privacy. But then the dorms are lonely in comparison.
Well, I suppose there's nothing to stop you from visiting the warehouse. Well, of course, nighttime. Well, actually, I suppose there's nothing to stop you, if no one sees you, from visiting. Have a chat with the students.
Once I get my
Let's scope
sorted
out
uniform,
potential, candidates.
it will be much more difficult to slip in here as I will technically be out of my dorm and thus be breaking the rules.
That is very...
Perhaps I shall
true.
keep my unsorted uniform.
I think that would be a most wonderful idea.
Well, until I get my new uniform, I shall be sleeping here. I promised some friends of mine that I would stay here until they all got sorted.
I see. Well, in that case, I believe the couch is yours.
I've already given it up to you. I've slept
You're
in a
welcome to have it.
I slept in a rather comfy bed for the past few days, breaking my promise. So I believe sleeping in one of the uncomfortable beds upstairs is calmer, as they say.
I see. Well, if you view it as some sort of self-punishment, it might help with that feeling, perhaps. But, in reality, I don't think there's anything wrong with sleeping on a comfortable couch. And I'd be a fool to get up, but I believe there's definitely something in it for me if I let you sleep there instead, until you're all sorted out. I've slept in much worse things than those uncomfortable beds. In fact, I don't think I was even planning on sleeping in one anyway.
This will not be a discussion that we have. You will be taking that couch. Either way, because I will not be sleeping there, even if you sleep somewhere else. So you might as well take my kind gesture and stay there.
That's good. Well, commanding, stubborn. Good qualities, but I think we should part midway. Neither of us take the couch tonight. And I'll have a lovely time yelling at someone if I see someone lying down on here tomorrow. We had an agreement, after all. And that was, the couch is mine, which means I can do with it as I please now. Is that not correct?
You are a very odd one.
Of course I am.
It's a shame. Our previous team leader specifically said we needed a support student. But I suppose if I become the support student...
Become support student. Well, they were very adamant you're stuck in your roles, but then again, I think this place has a lot of people defying expectations, whether they're going off and dying or arguing with each other even though they're professors. So I think that might be up for debate. Of course, after hearing a little bit in my past about the ability to heal, I always thought it'd be very useful in case I ever was injured, be able to just heal my own wounds as I disappear away. That way there's no collateral damage. And I suppose that works for everyone.
I suppose it would be good to have students with multiple classes. I suppose I sort of fall under all three at the current time, or at least working towards being at that point.
Well, if there's one thing in my nature, it's to achieve things in my own way. And I must say, the idea of standing with a shield in front of, I don't know, whoever's going to come charging at me, and just blocking that, and taking those blows rather than doing something more, such as, I don't know, stabbing him in the back to begin with. Those kind of things seem like easy solutions to me. Of course, it doesn't hurt to have some defense, to sneak off or to disappear for a moment. But I believe the art of winning something without being seen, or perhaps even talking your way out of something, or your enemies into something, is much more desirable. So that's where I think I'll be sticking my nose anyway. Improving that.
I am currently trying to teach myself how to heal. And I know it would be a desirable trait if I came to the rest of my team with a student who was doing the same, but who also knew tactics and seemed to be rather good at disappearing.
Are you implying something here, perhaps?
What do you believe?
Could it be... completely unsure, unaware. My brain frazzled. No idea. Of course I know. Don't worry. Well, day one and a positive impression. Not too bad if I say so myself. I'll keep that in mind.
I'm just trying to put my foot in the door before any other team does.
Of course, and I'm sure they'll try to. Well, from my experience today, I do have one question regarding Team... Stella, was it?
Yes.
Yes. I found it a little bit confusing for a moment. You see, Lumen, Stella, different names, similar colors for just the briefest of seconds. You guys must really blend in with each other if you're in the dark, that's for sure. But, with Team Stella, one thing I must say. That, misconception you had with Mr. Deshane, was it?
Isaac.
That's how he liked to call himself. Isaac, right, yes. With Isaac. He, seemed to think that everyone viewed him negatively. And perhaps even hated him. Yet you argued against that, and then he ended up complimenting you instead. It seems like there was some bad blood there that was perhaps entirely in your heads. Is that a common thing in Team Stella? Or is it merely just recent events have caused problems? Which I'm sure applies to every team.
Well, from what I've learned, apparently there seems to be bad blood between Team Stella, with at least one of each member. I seem to be the only one who hasn't really come across any reason to dislike any of them.
Well,
I am aware that currently Isaac may not view me in the best light, as I am merely a threat to him, as I am also trying to become the next team leader. As it was our previous team leader's wish that he not become it, and I trusted his opinion.
I see. This previous team leader of yours, they weren't one of those who died, were they?
No, thankfully not. He's still alive and well. It's just he found himself in an unfortunate circumstance and had to return home.
I see. Well, that is a shame. Well, not to worry. I believe that's answered my question quite well. In fact, if I may say so, I think a rivalry between yourself and Miss Isaac might be beneficial for both of your growth. Perhaps even a friendship, if I dare say.
Well, the only thing standing in the way of us forming some kind of friendship does seem to be said rivalry at the current time, so I am currently trying to make him believe I am not a threat.
Well, I think perhaps what's best to focus on, if I've learnt anything from talking to merchants, is it's very important to have an equal footing. You can view each other as threats, that's absolutely fine. But if you think that either way the result will be positive, whether it's yourself or Isaac who's chosen, that is the best way to view things. When you barter on equal footing and on neutral terms, the playing field's all yours.
I shall keep that in mind.
Until you steal something, anyway.
Excuse me?
Sorry, don't worry. Don't worry. I was angry merchant this one time. Don't really want to talk about it, actually. Don't worry. You know, past is the past and all. You have to learn your lesson somewhere.
I believe I can fill in the
not
gaps
suggesting
for
you steal
myself.
anything. Well, I assure you, I am a reformed young man, and I will not be stealing unless it's beneficial for everyone in a good way. And, of course, well, it's not really stealing then, is it?
Well, I suppose I should tell you this now, but you should definitely avoid getting into any trouble while you're unsorted, as punishments will go through the whole team, which means that you will become undesirable by all of the teams and thus be forced onto one, which I don't believe anyone would want that.
Of course, that does make sense. So, well, I never really planned on stealing anything anyway. It was more a case of learning and misdirection, hearing things. Not to worry.
If you would like something in your
I
possession,
won't get caught doing anything.
it would be far better to manipulate someone into giving it to you willingly, rather than stealing it.
Yes, that does seem to be the way around things here. Talking, and, well, getting what you want. In fact, there's one person in here, I'm unsure if they're around actually, so I'll lower my voice, who offered such a very thing to me. Of course, it was a very two-sided deal, as these things are. But I know for a fact that's all around this academy already.
There's a lot in this academy that goes unnoticed by the professors. Hopefully the new professors will stop that from happening. But I've heard quite a number of rumors. None of them good.
And if you could perhaps humor me to one, perhaps.
Well, one rumor
Out of
being
curiosity, of course.
one being spread around is that Team Stella are actually meeting in secret. I'd like to tell you right now that, as far as I'm aware, that rumor is completely false. Team Stella seem to be very broken at the current moment, and it is definitely something that needs to be worked on. If we were meeting up, it would probably be at the dorms, and thus not in secret.
Yes, well, I suppose if you're all looking like you're apart, everyone who sees that is going to think you're all up to something.
Unfortunately, that's just how the team is, with the bad blood between everyone. It's rare to see us together.
I see. Well, that's quite problematic. I would love to see if the next time I spend time with your team that perhaps we're all a little bit closer.
It would be nice.
Yes. I must say, it was quite funny, though. You, had that little argument of yours, and I was sat there very awkwardly, and I just had to turn around and look at the, oh, there we go. Look, dots. Formations, yes. Just kind of sat there, very, very awkward, you know. Oh, love it.
I've heard about awkward situations before, but I've only found myself really knowing of one in one circumstance. Others have been pointed out to me, and I did not realize they counted as being awkward.
Not aware of awkward situations?
Apparently not.
What was the one you do, or did, realize?
Sorrelier and I were, we found ourselves alone. It was before we really became acquainted properly. And I had realized she had an issue with Soren, our previous team leader, recruiting me without talking to the rest of them, so things were tense. But Soren left us alone to our devices, and we were uncertain of what to do. From the tenseness in her face and the fact we were alone, I could kind of tell that it was an awkward moment, albeit I did not feel awkward.
Yes, I suppose that could be considered quite awkward. Although it's not that bad, really. This,
Sorrelier.
How's it pronounced? Sorrelier, okay.
Sorrelier.
This Sorrelier, Sorrelier. That's quite a mouthful. Anyways, yes.
You say that despite your name?
Sorrelier. Well, that's why I just say everyone can call me Tell. Tell's not a mouthful.
You have a point?
Well, I guess it can be if it's on. But yes, anyways, I had the pleasure of walking with her from the arena teleportation circle pad crystal thingy.
The teleporter.
And the teleporter, yes. I had the pleasure of walking with her from there towards the gardens, and she's rather quiet, isn't she?
All of Team Stella seem to be, including myself, at times. Although I'm trying to fix that, as you can see.
I can very clearly see, yes. I think I've had the longest conversation with you. Although Isaac himself has said quite a pretty word. I wouldn't say that entirely.
He usually avoids people.
Perhaps you'll just...
It seems as though he's just trying to make an impression that he can be a leader, so that he gets voted.
Well, if he is not striving to stick to that, then his leadership's going to fall very short if he is chosen, isn't it?
Of course.
Indeed. And of course, with you yourself going for that role, and him. What would you say the qualities you would bring to your team are?
Well, I'm clearly the only one who doesn't have bad blood with any of the others, so I could possibly be the thing to bring them together. And I know that I would actually listen to the entirety of my team's ideas before making a decision, rather than just telling everyone what to do without asking their opinions first, as I noticed Isaac doing earlier on today. Also, I am very good at listening, whereas Isaac seems to only be good at talking. He doesn't seem to be the social type, whereas I'm willing to become one if I need to be.
That willingness is admirable.
Thank you.
I believe, then. You both have your unique selling points from what I've heard. At least, I, of course, haven't seen it all firsthand yet, so I'm just going off of my wild mind. But I'd say you're both in for a good chance if you were able to work with each other. Could play off each other very well. There's one thing I've learned. It's two people who are usually at each other's throats because their ideas don't agree. Come together. They can make something very, very alluring. Profitable. Or anything, really.
You clearly have more experience with people than I do, so I will trust your opinion.
Well, experience is certainly something, but I believe that you could find similar experience from others in different areas with people. I merely understand how people tick a little bit, because that's what I've had to do to survive. Whilst others know how to maneuver themselves a little more smoothly through a conversation, I would think. So, as painful as it is to say, I am no master of speech.
Well, you seem to be able to hold up quite an interesting conversation, if I do say so myself.
Oh, thank you. Well, anyways, very late. We've had a great conversation. And I'm sure someone sleeping upstairs has heard us and has started swearing in their sleep.
I shall leave you to your bed. Temporary bed, I suppose I should say.
Temporary bed, of course. Enjoy your temporary bed too. Although I think I may continue with my original bargain just for fun. If I find anyone sleeping on this in the morning, have a lovely shout at them. Of course, I wouldn't mind if you'd back me up on that, as to our agreement.
Of course.
Lovely. Well, in that case, good night.
Good night.
Ellis. Okay. Hi there, stream. Hello there, people I'm giving the outro to. You get a very quirky and silly outro this time. Isn't that amazing? Thank you for watching. If you're not already subscribed to Sword, subscribe to her. You know, Rosewood people, awesome people. Sword, awesome
in person. And, of course, if you enjoy watching Rosewood stuff, you are more than welcome to check out the vast assortment of videos that she makes on various things. Thank you for watching this episode, which was number... I'm not
6.
sure. Number 6. I knew that totally. Completely in my head. Yeah. And also if you like EOT stuff as well, which obviously makes sense. You probably already knew that if you're watching. So, anyway. Bye-bye, folks. Tomo out.
Alright, stay sharp, I see problems. I'll see you in the next video.